This week, the CRA is leading a delegation of California restaurants from all over the state to Washington, D.C. to meet directly with members of Congress to lobby for more restaurant relief. As restaurants everywhere continue to feel the pinch of record inflation, extremely high gas prices, supply chain challenges, and finding qualified new hires, it is imperative that lawmakers in Washington, D.C. finish the relief efforts they started. It is astounding what Congress has done so far in terms of overall direct restaurant relief. We are incredibly grateful for the various relief programs for restaurants. 2 rounds of the Paycheck Protection Act, the Employee Retention Tax Credit, and the Restaurant Revitalization Fund, just to name a few. In our meetings this week in congressional offices, we will be thanking our California congressional members for that unprecedented level of support to date. By the way, none of that relief would have been possible without your help amplifying our calls on Congress over the last 2 years, or without the leadership on Capitol Hill by the National Restaurant Association. All this being said, there's still more work to do, and we need Congress to finish what they started. And that is the point of our trip to D.C. Members of the CRA from the Sacramento Valley, Central Valley, Bay Area, Central Coast, and from the counties of Los Angeles, Orange, and San Diego are joining restaurants from all over the nation in Washington, D.C. this week as part of the National Restaurant Association's Public Affairs Conference. Our collective voices and direct lobbying on Capitol Hill are critical in our effort to convince Congress to take action on a number of bills, including replenishing the Restaurant Revitalization Fund, addressing tax credit delays, and making it easier to hire employees, all measures to help employers stay in business. Just a few weeks ago, the House of Representatives voted to replenish the RRF with an additional $42 billion. Now, the U.S. Senate must act. That grant fund has been an incredibly effective recovery tool for restaurants, but its initial appropriation of dollars wasn't enough, and it has left many California restaurants behind. In fact, just 44% of qualified California restaurants got a grant, while 56% of qualified applicants in California got nothing. That 56% of qualified restaurants that were left behind were in the queue when the federal fund evaporated. The Senate can make this right. We will also be advocating for another piece of legislation, H.R. 7239, the Essential Workers for Economic Advancement Act. This would expand the country's workforce through a 3-year market-driven, non-immigrant visa program specific to occupations that provide growth opportunities and career paths without the need for a college degree. The EWEA program would connect prospective workers with employers, both of whom must meet participation requirements. A true win-win for both employees and employers. And finally, while in D.C., restaurant operators will demand accountability for the thousands of restaurants still enduring unnecessary and costly delays in refunding the Employee Retention Tax Credit. We will ask Congress to urge the IRS to speed the process for credit payments on the first 3 quarters of 2021 and to reinstate this tax credit for the 4th quarter. This proposal to reinstate the Employee Retention Tax Credit has gained broad bipartisan support. As you can see, Congress has a few essential relief items served up on their plate right now, and it is time to take action. While the CRA and California restaurants are in D.C. this week meeting in person with our members of Congress, please join our call to action back here at home by heading to the link in the description below. I'm Sabrina. That's the news you need to know.